Hello, welcome back to another video. My name's Nomi, and I'm out here in the beautiful heart of nature, baby. Breathing in that good-ass prana. I'm here, and I'm queer. No, I'm just kidding. Well, not really. Anyways, I'm out here, and I'm gonna go for a little walk. So come join me out in the beautiful wilderness of British Columbia, Canada. I want to show you some wild edible plants, and let's see what we can find, see what's available around this time of year. And yeah, let's go nibble on some greens together. Come join me. I didn't even have to walk far, and I already found the first wild edible of the day. This is garlic mustard. Now this plant is extremely invasive. It takes over and pretty much kills all the other plants around it. It will completely take over fields. The roots release a chemical that wards off other plants, so they're extremely territorial and they're extremely invasive. They're actually from Japan, I believe. From Asia area. I'll put it up on the top there. So they were introduced here to North America, and now they're invasive. But these are in the Brassica family, so they're Brassicas, mustard greens, and they call them garlic mustard because they taste like garlic, like that mustardy essence, kind of like a strong, slightly bitter arugula with a mustard, with a garlic taste, like garlic essence. And these are really good in salad. If you don't mind a bit of that bitterness, they're great in salads. The bitter is actually really good for you, and we don't eat a lot of bitters in our diet much anymore. We always go for sweet things and like the lettuces, and we don't really eat from the wild like this and get those bitters like we used to. But this is really good. I'll bring you closer, and I'll show you how to identify this plant. So here is a garlic mustard plant. One way you can identify these is if you see on the stem, they have all these little tiny hairs on the stem. Their stem isn't hollow. They have these heart-like shaped leaves, and they get this purple hue a lot of the time on the stem, where it connects to the leaf. If you can see on the stem, it has the hairs continue up the stem to the leaf. If you rub it up, you don't get too much of a scent from it to get that mustard essence. The best way, one of the best ways I'd say to test it out, is you can do a little nibble. Just a little one, don't swallow. And you get that mustard essence, comes up right away. So if you know how that mustardy tastes, boom, it hits you, and you'll get a garlic flavor. Not many other plants have that garlic flavor like garlic mustard. The stem is good too. You know what? The stem is probably the best part of it. Not very bitter, not near as bitter as compared to the leaf. That's really good. That's garlic mustard right there. Here's another beautiful example of garlic mustard. Look at that. Really beautiful plant. You can see the beautiful heart leaves and the hairy stem. There's that purple hue, and they grow up pretty tall, but this is the perfect stage to harvest them. They're really good. The perfect stage to harvest them, early spring, where you get that lush green, non-fibrousness. Honestly, April, May, best time of the year to get wild vegetables. Didn't even have to walk far. We found ourselves another wild edible. This right here is burdock. And a lot of people know burdock because they have those burrs that get stuck to your hair, stuck to your clothes. But at this time of year, they haven't shot up their flowering stalk. Oh look, there's some burrs right here. These things, they get stuck to your hair. Velcro. Probably gonna regret putting that on me. There are those little spikes. Just giving you the example. Now, all burdock is edible. You can eat the entire plant. It's very, very bitter. The leaves are extremely bitter. But the prized part of it is the root. Now, the root has been used in Asia as a vegetable. And I've seen at supermarkets, I've seen them selling burdock root. Actual burdock root. They were selling it as a vegetable. And I was like, I can literally go outside to my backyard and pick this stuff. But anyways, that's how good it is. You cook it up like you would any other root vegetable. But that's the best part of it, I'd say. The leaves, the stems are very, very bitter. But I'm gonna pick one. I'm gonna pick the smallest one, okay? Tiny, tiny burdock. And it has, once you know burdock, it has a very distinct smell. You can't confuse this plant once you get used to seeing this thing. But first, I want to show you how the stem looks. Okay, you can see the leaves are very hairy, very hairy. The stem is also very hairy. You can literally rub this stuff off, and they grow like a beautiful rosette pattern. And if you're not sure, look around, see if you find the burrs. Like, here's a good example of last year's burdock. So these are biannuals. So the first year they grow like this, a little floral rosette, and then the next year they will shoot up the stem like this, and they'll produce the seeds. And you don't want to harvest, if you're going for the root, you don't want to harvest the ones that have the stems coming out. You want these ones because all the energy is still down in the ground, in the root. They have a big tap root, and all the energy is still there. Because when they shoot up the stem, all the energy is going up into the flowers. So the roots are kind of weird and not as nice. But yeah, that's the leaf. And you can see the very distinctive veins on there. And it does have a very distinct smell. If you get used to being around burdock, that is a very distinct smell. One thing you can do as well is you can actually eat the seeds that are in here. There's one. See that right there? I've got one of the seeds here. Give it a try. Oh yeah. How I remembered it. Bitter. Oh wow. Woo! Edible. Totally edible. The bitterness is really good for you, full of medicinal compounds, but ooh, is that ever bitter? The only part that isn't bitter is the root, it seems, on this plant. The root is delicious. It's one of my favorite wild edibles, especially when I'm doing bushcraft survival challenges. One of the best main plants I go look for. But let's try the leaf. I'm gonna try one of the smallest fresh leaves, because the smaller, the more tender it is, usually less bitter it is, right? So I'm gonna give the smallest, most tender leaf a try and tell you how bitter it is. I can't with the burdock. Ugh. It's too much. Burdock is too much. The leaves are too much for me. I can't. It is not one I go looking for when I'm looking for wild edibles. Only the roots, never the leaves. Ugh. 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 Anyways, let's go find another wild edible. Ugh, I still have that bitter taste in my mouth from the burdock. Oh, look at that. We found another wild edible. Stinging nettle. Well, I'm sure a lot of you know what stinging nettle is. It's not one that you usually like to touch, but it's edible. And how is it edible? You put it in hot water and all the stinging goes away, or you cook it up. Pretty much heat destroys the sting. So it makes an excellent tea. This is one of the first plants that we found today that makes an excellent tea. Actually, burdock root too. People roast it and it's really good for the liver. Burdock root is, but we're not talking about that now. We moved on for the burdock. It's also very sunny. Holy. Yeah, so this is actually one of my top favorite wild greens because it's absolutely delicious. It kind of resembles it's really hard to explain. It's extremely medicinal, and like it has so many minerals and nutrients in it. It's one of the most jam-packed plants you can find out here for nutrients, minerals. So it kind of has a seaweed taste, which might not make any sense because it's not from the sea. So it's not like salty, but that's the only thing I can like kind of relate it to. But this is delicious. Best way to harvest it is with gloves, so you don't get the stinging on it. Bring it home, cook it up. One thing I like to do though is these little tops. That might be a little bit too much. Right in the middle there. That beautiful little I'm not getting stung because it's usually when you rub, it rubs on your skin. It has these little spikes. But you can kind of crunch up the tips like this. Just rub it up to a ball. Pop it in your mouth. Mmm. Oh my gosh. I love nettles. Oh my goodness. Wow. It is so good. I always remember how delicious this plant is whenever I find it again. So yeah, how to identify this plant? Main thing is it stings you. And I'm sure a lot of you know how to identify stinging nettle based off that. But if you're careful and try not to rub yourself, you can pick these up. What you can see is they have those kind of spiny looks to the leaves. Now these are in the mint family, so they have opposite leaves. The one leaf, these leaves, see they're popping out that side, turn it around. The next leaves will be popping out like that, and then back, and then back. So like, they have opposite opposing leaves. They have a square stem, hollow stem as well. You can see the spikies on it. Those are the trichomes that contain the stinging compounds, which actually some of the compounds are serotonin. And that's a feel-good molecule, right? Well, it's also causes irritation when put in the skin. But that stinging nettle, brushing up against it is what hurts. It's also believed by many people to have healing properties based on the sting alone. They'll literally like whap it on parts of their body that has, say like inflammation inside. Some people have done it for arthritis, for back pain. Don't know if that works, but maybe it does. But see if I get a little stung here. Oh, yep, that got it. That got me. Whew. You can't see anything yet, but over time there'll be little bumps will start to form where you got stung. Oh, that was actually pretty good. That could have been a lot worse. That stuff hurts. It hurts a lot if you walk into it like fast paced. So like, be careful. So literally what happens is these little trichomes, they're crystals. So they get stuck into you and they break off. And there's little pieces in there. So like, you don't have to worry about like slivers. They'll come out eventually from like the, your arm, like the pustules. They'll push it out, so you'll be okay. But yeah, that hurt. That was pretty good. All right, let's go look for another wild edible. Oh, now these I really enjoy. These are wild violets, purple violets. The whole plant is edible, leaf and flower. The leaf, no bitterness. It's kind of sweet. It's a perfect salad green, and the flowers, even better. Oh my goodness, this is one I just like to sit around and eat. Just sit around and nibble it. Here's some beautiful violets. Now the leaves do get a lot bigger. These are very new. They just popped up not that long ago. They have these beautiful heart-shaped flowers. They unfold a bit more as they get older. So these beautiful heart-shaped flowers. This one here is actually a better example of how they can look. It's been nibbled on. That gives you an idea. Their flowers, the best part. These ones haven't even opened up much. Look at that. Now a lot of people know violets. A lot of the time they grow in the backyard, in your backyard. They're great for salads, again. And there's not much to it. Like, there's not much to identifying these besides that. Like, their stem is smooth. They have the little heart-shaped leaves that are serrated, slightly serrated on the leaf. And they have these beautiful flowers. The violets can appear in purple. They can appear in pink. I've seen white and yellow. So they can, depending on where they're growing, they can have all sorts of different colors. In the mountains, I seem to find yellow ones more often, but down low in the valley, I seem to find purple ones quite often. And in yards, fields, white is kind of popular down here too. Pink is rare. I haven't seen a lot of pink, but I have seen it. And it's pretty surprising when you do. But yeah, there's violets. There's lots of them growing here. Delicious for salads. And yeah, I highly recommend this plant. Delicious. Look at that. I didn't walk too much farther and I found white violets. They're right here. So there's the white violets. And you can see the leaves a bit better on this one. It's a bit bigger. And there's an example of the flower again. Really pretty. Come out like that. Very cute. I really like these. And they're so tasty too. I was just filming a TikTok video. Check out our TikTok channel. Links in the description. I was just doing a TikTok here, filming these nettles, and I found this edible plant. Catnip. This is catnip. Now catnip, this is very small. I haven't seen a lot of tall plants yet. Catnip, one of my favorite plants ever for tea. It's also a mint. So, same idea. It has square stem, opposite opposing leaves. You'll know catnip right away by that minty, amazing smell. I love this plant. It's almost just relaxing just smelling it. This plant is very good for tea, very good for sleep. It doesn't get you high. Some people think it gets you high. No, it doesn't get you high. Only cats. It only affects cats by when they smell it. But for us, it helps us sleep. It gives us it gives a really nice relaxing effect to the body, calms the nerves, helps you helps you go to bed. When I first discovered catnip, I used to harvest tons of it and put it all, the fresh plant, in a big pot, boil it up, and I used to drink that as tea, and oh my gosh, just makes you want to. It's so relaxing. It's amazing. Oh, and I love the smell. I like to nibble it. It is a little strong flavor, just to nibble on. Woo! Got that mentholiness, kind of cooling, minty, but it's strong, very strong. Now, catnip has the nice purple hue on the stems, and it will come up into the leaf. It's very soft. It's full of this little fuzz all over the plant. I don't know if you can see that, but it's like, I want to snuggle up against it. It's just a cozy, snuggly plant. It makes you just want to just get all cozy and fall asleep. And oh, the stem. But catnip, beautiful. So I usually harvest this and I dry it and then I use it as tea. Or I give it to my crazy cat because it's kind of insane over it. There's catnip. Oh, there's got to be something around here somewhere. Oh, babe. The mother lode of cow parsnips. Let's check it out. Sun. Now this here is cow parsnip. You can see it all around here. This is a amazing wild edible that I really like during bushcraft survival challenges. It's in the celery family, so it's extremely strong in that celery essence. So it's in the family celery, carrots, parsnips. I mean, cow parsnip, right? So it is a parsnip. It's not really known for the roots as far as I'm concerned, but it produces a delicious flowering bud, which people cook up. And you can also just cook up the leaves and stems as is. Now, some people are really allergic to this plant. It can cause contact dermatitis when I'm out in the sun, just like this. You rub up on it, the chemical reacts to the sun and it can burn. So just be careful. It's also the sweat. It's the sun and the sweat on your body. So I usually harvest this plant in the shade. I've eaten it many times. I'm not allergic to it, so that's good. It's really good when it's cooked. It's really good in stews, stuff like that. I won't be harvesting any of this today, but I'll give it a taste test for you. You can eat it raw. Just it's better to do it in the shade, just to be safe. I don't know if that's something to worry about too much, but that's just what I've done because I don't want to get rashes or anything weird. I've never had an allergic reaction to it, but let's give it a taste test.
And the best parts to harvest are these beautiful, freshly grown leaves.
There's another one right over here. This one's even
Better. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That's great to be put right into a stew when you're cooking in the wild.
So I like to nibble on the little ones like this. They're very hairy and fuzzy, if you couldn't tell. Those have the chemical that some people are allergic to. Oh, just how I remember it. Oh, it's really good. If you want to see me cook up this stuff in the wild, you can check out the Bush Camp /Survival Challenge we did in the past. Links up in the top there. Me and Johnny Casket back in May 2021. I really like these. Some people peel the stem back to get rid of those hairs. You can literally just do it with your fingernails. I really don't know if it matters too much. Again, I never got reactions. I've never had reactions to this. Doesn't mean that you won't either. Like, you might get a reaction to it. Just to be safe. Celery. Celery. Good. Now be really careful with when harvesting this plant. Another warning, I guess, is it resembles very closely to a plant called giant hogweed, which is extremely, extremely painful. And yeah, you do not want to touch that plant. So make sure you do your research. Make sure you know what you're doing. And yeah, if you have giant hogweed in your area, really make sure you do your research before attempting to even touch cow parsnip. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. Well, I think that just about does it for this herbal walk. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for more. Hope you liked seeing what kind of wild edibles are available around this time of year. If you like these videos and you want to see more like it, make sure you hit the subscribe button, smash the like button. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm, because YouTube's been kind of it's picky. So I need your help to like these videos and subscribe to help the YouTube algorithm out to get these videos out there more. Also hit the bell icon so you get notified. You don't have to, but do it. If you want to be notified, you know what? If you want to be notified for my videos, hit the bell icon. It's not a necessity. That doesn't help out with the YouTube algorithm. What does is liking the video. So like the video, damn it. Just kidding. Anyways, I'll see you in the next one. Stay tuned for more foraging videos, more bushcraft, camping, survival, gardening, permaculture, anything wilderness is what we do. We'll see you in the next one. Bye. Peace.